So to start out, what you need to do is to have 2 pieces of paper. And on one, this is where they're going to scribble until their little heart is content. They're not going to want to stop. So then you're going to want to have a second piece of paper if you want them to keep going. Spare papers, whatever you want on that part. But I promise they're not going to want to give up scribbling. They're going to have so much fun. So next, with my kindergarten and first grade, because they can't draw a grid on their paper very well, I know it's not ideal, but I go ahead and make them fold their paper in half and then fold it again. And then when you open it up, you have the 4 squares, and this helps them know to draw big and not get really small stuff on your paper, on their papers. And then I tell them to start with a C, and it's gonna go in this rectangle, this rectangle, and this rectangle. So it's almost gonna, it's gonna look something like this. So a big C, and then they just bring this line down, and then we have a circle, and obviously draw light. I'm using a marker, so you're not going to be able to erase. Another circle, they can fill these in. I gave them the option to do whatever they wanted to for their eyes. And then we add the nose, and then this goes back behind. It does look like a dinosaur, and they'll think it's funny. And then you just add the horn. And then I even showed them the curved lines, makes it give a little bit of detail. And then the mane back behind. And then once again, you can just add some details if you want. And then in the story, they have crayons that are tied to the horn. So I just tell them to start by adding some rectangles first. And then on top of the rectangles, you draw a triangle. That one's gonna go off the page a little bit, which is fine. And then I tell them to look at their crayon because they don't ever really notice the details. And at the tops of the crayons, there's little rectangles and then the circle. I try to explain the more detail you add, the more it's gonna look like a crayon. And then when they're done, they just cut it out and glue it to the scribble sheet, and that's it.